interesting way you've seen someone exploit a tragedy. Vanessa had this gift for making every conversation about her latest tragedy, and somehow you'd end up feeling bad for not helping enough. She'd moved to our neighborhood about 6 months ago, and within weeks, everyone knew her sob story about being a single mom struggling to pay for her daughter's cancer treatments. The whole community rallied around her like she was family. People organized bake sales every weekend and started neighborhood charity drives. Here's the thing that should have been a red flag from the beginning. Nobody had ever actually seen her daughter. Vanessa always had excuses about why the kid couldn't come to neighborhood barbecues, or why she couldn't have visitors at the hospital. Her immune system was too weak, the treatments made her too tired, or the doctors said no visitors. She'd post these heart-wrenching updates on the neighborhood Facebook group about spending sleepless nights by her daughter's bedside, but somehow she was always available for every community meeting and fundraising event. Vanessa had set up this GoFundMe page with the most devastating photos you've ever seen of a bald little girl hooked up to machines in a hospital bed. The description talked about experimental treatments that insurance wouldn't cover, and how they needed $50,000 to save her life. Within 2 months, she'd raised almost $30,000 from our neighborhood alone. My neighbor Willow even sold her grandmother's jewelry to contribute to the fund. Willow was actually the first one to start asking the uncomfortable questions. She kept insisting on visiting the hospital to bring the little girl some books and toys. Every time Vanessa would deflect with another excuse, but Willow wouldn't let it go. She'd show up at Vanessa's door with homemade soup and ask for the hospital room number so she could deliver it directly. Vanessa would take the soup and promise to bring it, but she'd always have some reason why Willow couldn't come along, like the kid was having a procedure that day, or visiting hours had changed. Willow was suspicious, so she called the children's hospital where Vanessa claimed her daughter was receiving treatment, and there was no patient by that name. Meanwhile, Vanessa was living like she'd won the lottery. She was wearing new designer clothes every week and eating expensive dinners at restaurants she posted about on social media. She bought a brand new car that she claimed was a gift from her supportive family. The community decided to throw this massive fundraising gala at the country club to raise the final $20,000 Vanessa said she needed for her daughter's life-saving surgery. Everyone bought tickets and donated auction items. The night of the gala, Willow cornered Vanessa about finally introducing everyone to her daughter. Willow suggested they could set up a video call so the little girl could thank everyone for their support, even though she couldn't be there in person. Vanessa agreed and said she'd arrange for a live video call during the dinner portion of the event. During the dinner, Vanessa gets up to address the crowd and starts telling this emotional story about her daughter's brave fight against cancer and how the community's support has given them hope during the darkest time of their lives. She pulls out her laptop and says her daughter wants to thank everyone personally through a video call from her hospital bed. The video starts playing and there's this adorable bald little girl with tubes and wires attached to her tiny body. She's speaking in this weak voice thanking everyone for their donations and saying how much it means to know people care about her getting better. Everyone in the room is crying and pulling out their checkbooks to donate even more money, but then a doctor who was sitting nearby stood up in the middle of the video. He was a pediatric oncologist at the children's hospital and his face had gone completely white. He walked up to the front of the room where Vanessa was standing with her laptop and said in this loud, clear voice that everyone could hear, "That little girl died in my hospital 3 years ago. I was holding her mother's hand when she passed away." The room went completely silent except for the sound of the video still playing. Vanessa tried to make some excuse about how there must be some mistake, but the doctor kept talking. He said he'd never forget that particular patient because she'd been so brave during her final weeks. The video Vanessa was playing as a live call was actually old footage from the real family's blog about their daughter's cancer journey. The venue security called the police while Vanessa tried to run for the exit. Willow stood up and announced that she'd already contacted the authorities about the fake hospital records and fraudulent campaigns. Vanessa got arrested right there in front of 400 people who'd trusted her with their money and their hearts. It turns out she'd been running similar scams in 3 other states using the same dead child's photos and story. The real parents found out their daughter's image was being used to steal money and they pressed additional charges. Vanessa got sentenced to 8 years in federal prison, and now nobody in our neighborhood ever helps strangers without doing proper research first.